What's up, everyone? I'm back with another chess video. And yeah, man, I had to show you guys this one after I played it. I did play it a few days ago, so this one is a bit old. But I just want to show it to you guys because, first of all, this is the longest game that I've ever played in a 10-minute rapid chess game here on chess.com. 71 moves, man. That was pretty crazy. It didn't feel like that during the game because it was pretty intense, so I didn't really feel it. But yeah, man, that sounded so wrong. But yeah, it was a crazy long game. Plus, my opponent was 10-24 or 10-34 when I beat him, so that's even made me feel a little bit better because he was a pretty high-rated opponent compared to just being a 900 or whatever. I played with a 78 accuracy, so not the best, but considering this was a pretty 71 move game, I guess not bad for me because I'm still a noob. But hey. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the analysis because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so yeah, my opponent plays e4. I play the Scandinavian defense. He moves his pawn over to t5. So usually when I do that, I just push my pawn up to c5 so I could take more control of the space, more spots in the center there. He pushes pawn d4. I develop my knight. He takes. I develop my bishop. He develops his knight, and I take his pawn there because it's not defended by nothing. He checks me with his bishop to b5, and so yeah, here I make my first mistake. I block with my bishop when I should have blocked with my knight because now this pawn here is just completely vulnerable. It's lost his only defender, which was the queen. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part. Didn't see that. And so yeah, here I kind of have to move my knight back because it's just completely hanging there. So yeah, he develops his knight to f3. I kick his queen out with e6. I play d3 just because target here and come here. Maybe if he moves here or something or yeah, comes here and boom, I get a nice fork there. But he obviously didn't fall for that, so he just moved his queen over to e2. I took that free pawn with my bishop. He castles and I develop my last piece to f6. He places his rook over to d1. I castle short. He takes this pawn. I take with my knight. He moves his pawn to a3, kicking out my knight there. So I have to move my knight back to c6. He moves his knight over to b5. And I do the same thing, pretty much what he did to me. Kick out his knight over to d6. And so yeah, here at this point, I'm kind of have to take with this because I don't want him to get too crafty and I really don't like knights. When they get this close, they could do some annoying stuff. Like he could come here and I don't know, do some damage. So yeah, just take with the bishop, knowing he's gonna take with the rook. And so yeah, here my knight is still pinned to the queen. So I decided to move my queen here because now I can unpin this and attack him. So my next move I could move my knight, which I move my pawn to f6 because I'm getting ready to push my pawns. Start coming over here. I'll hopefully open up the king side a bit more. He pushes his pawn to b4. I push e5. He brings his bishop over to e3, and I finally move my pawn up here, attacking his knight. But he actually moves his bishop to c5. So yeah, my queen is now pretty much getting attacked and is pinned to the rook. So maybe he didn't see this, but I just, the only obvious move for me was knight to c5. And yeah, he takes, but now he has two doubled up pawns here on the c file. And as long as I have my knight here, they're pretty much not going nowhere, so I don't gotta worry about that. And so yeah, at this point, I take the free knight there. He takes, and I take with my knight there. So now yeah, I'm up a full knight, and his silly self, his little goofy ad doesn't take. I don't know why. He should have just took, right? I don't know. I don't think this was the move. But yeah, he just decides to push his pawn to g3. And so yeah, I have 3 minutes and 15 seconds. This has took me a lot of brain power. And whenever I think a lot, that's whenever I waste the most time. So yeah, I'm already down 3 minutes and 15 seconds. That's going to definitely be a factor later on in the game. He plays e1, I play d5, he pushes his pawn to c4, but this just creates a nice little spot for my knight there on c3. He attacks my knight, and man, it has such a beautiful play here. I could have moved my knight here onto e2 and got a nice fork, you know, boom, attacked both the king and the rook. Man, but I didn't see that, unfortunately, and I played rook to d3, which was fine, I guess. But yeah, he finally moves out the way here, knowing full well that I could just do this at any time, which I still do. And I move this rook out the way. And so I just move my rook over to c3, getting ready to attack both those pawns there. He pushes his pawn to h4. And so yeah, here again I was getting low on I wasn't getting too low, but I just wanted to like do something quick because yeah, he still had a full minute. He almost had 6 minutes left, and I was down to 1 minute, so I didn't want to risk it. So I just said, you know, thinking he could take here, and then I could move my pawn. He's probably gonna move here, and then I could move my bishop under him, and then, you know, or my rook, and then get this rook out here, and, you know, try to do something, you know, like that. I don't know. I was just thinking of like something like that, something tactical like that. But he didn't take, unfortunately, so I just had to move my knight back to e2. He moved his rook over to d1, and yeah, I just take this pawn here, free pawn. He moves his rook to d7. I move my rook back to c3, attacking these pawns again. He takes one, I take one. He moves his rook one, and man, I don't know why I did this. Like, it was just a complete waste of time. So I move my rook over here, you know, blocking, you know, protecting this pawn. But so he moves his rook back, and I just end up moving my rook back to f8, and so he just takes, and so I finally take. So yeah, what I really should have just done was just take this pawn from the beginning instead of wasting like 10 seconds there. He moves his pawn to a7, or his rook to a7. I keep calling it the pawn and the bishop. God damn it. I move my rook over to c1, just trying to exchange rooks here, which he does. I take with my knight. And so yeah, here unfortunately I lost my passed pawn because I was just sucking so much ass. I couldn't figure out a way to move it properly. So yeah, I check him here. He moves his king down. I move my rook over to f7. Again, I wanting to exchange pieces so I can get it down to like a simple just pawn push with a king. But he declines. I move back down with f8. We go back up again. Man, I don't know why I made this move. I blundered my knight here because I was freaking out. I didn't want to get a threefold repetition draw because I just had such a better position. You know, this game has been going on for so long. Like, I knew I could have won. So I decided to do this because again I freaked out with a threefold repetition and just blundered my knight. So yeah, he took, obviously, and again still we were pretty much even here, but I just had the one pawn up, so I was in a bit better position, I would say. So yeah, here I was just really trying to just exchange rooks here, but he was being a little bit stubborn. So yeah, I just decided to push my pawn to g6. He moves his king over to e3. I move my pawn to f5. He moved his pawn to f4, and I check him here, and this is where he makes his pretty big mistake here. He should have just moved over here, but unfortunately with king to d4 that allows me to fork both these pieces. And so yeah, this is pretty much the start of the end for him, because once he moves his king out the way, you know, boom, I just got those two nice pawns. And he gives me a few little checks here, but you know, all I have to do is move my king out the way. This is a nice spot here for my king, because even if he moves this pawn down here for away from the rook, I can still take with the king. So yeah, he moves the king over to e3. I take the last pawn. And so yeah, here is pretty much just trying to figure out a way to get one of these pawns promoted so that I can get a queen and a rook and checkmate him. And I have 21 seconds left, so this was a little bit stressful. So yeah, he moves his rook over to h1. And so here at this point, I just got to really just move my pawn, push it along. This rook here is placed nicely because now this king can't cross and help the rook. So yeah, boom here, check him. He goes up. I move my king up. He moves his rook to h2. I move my pawn up to h3. Oh yeah, so the next move would have been me here, checking him. He would have had to like either take and boom or something, but he moves his king over to f1. And so yeah, here I was gonna exchange, you know, if he wasn't gonna exchange with me, or if he would have exchanged it in a perfect world, that's what he would have done. you know, I would have lost a rook and a pawn because he would have just took back with his king. But my king was here, so I would have just moved like here, and then I would have been able to promote this pawn, so it wouldn't have been that bad. But he actually does this, which was a bit of a surprise, but a mistake, because now, like, makes it even easier for me because he can't take my rook, and all I gotta do is move one of these pawns, get it promoted, and it's pretty much game over. Which what I do, I just end up moving this pawn here, and I get this beautiful back rank, or it's not back rank checkmate, but a ladder checkmate with the king and the rook there. So yeah, man, it was a long game, hard fought battle, but your boy was able to get the win. And yeah, man, I was 3 seconds left, bro. 3.7 seconds. That's insane. That's insane, but hey, I was able to get the win. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.